Britain's biggest melt. What's a melt? Is it like bad? I thought a melt was like a sandwich.
Oh, have you heard? Average salary in the UK is 33 grand. Made that last month.
The thing is, right when
What a tool! £33,000 in a month? That's so much! What the fuck? He's like that kid that was complaining that he only gets 10 grand a month.
you think the Andrew Tate-esque course-selling alpha male grift trend is about to end, another one spawns in out of nowhere. So this charming young gentleman is a guy called Cam, and I think his thing is TikTok Shop, which is honestly one of the more pathetic ways to make money. Oh, what do you do? I work in e-commerce. I run my own e-commerce business. Of course, you work on Amazon, or maybe you have your own store. That's cool. Now, I sell tap for like £1 to idiots on TikTok. Like, whenever I see someone selling...
Every time I see someone selling something on TikTok Shop, I always think it's like a scam or something. You ever get those, you're flicking through TikTok or whatever, and then it like says sponsored by like fucking whatever, and then you can like buy it? Ugh. Yuck.
Crap products on TikTok Shop, my opinion of them instantly hits rock bottom. Even if I've never seen them before, because the TikTok Shop promos are always the most desperate things you've ever seen, aren't they? You know what I mean? People going, oh, the CEO of Pepsi is going to get sacked for this amazing deal on Pepsi multi-packs on TikTok Shop. Shut up, man. Just get a job. But yeah,
True, put the fries in the bag, motherfucker. Most of us started off doing fucking dog shit, not selling crap on TikTok.
That's what this guy apparently does. According to him, he makes a lot of money on it. I don't really care. No one does. But it is literally all he goes on about. Pretty much every single clip I've had the misfortune of seeing of this guy, he sat on one of those podcasts that just has any old idiot on, talking about how much money he allegedly makes. That is all he talks about. Sometimes he even gets the host to be like, no way you make this much money.
There's no way.
Yeah, it's like a self-stroke. You invite yourself to podcasts and you're like, I make $20 billion and I also have a lot of sex with women. Like, actually, you probably don't. You're lying. If you have to brag about that kind of thing, like with women, or like, it's like you're tattling on yourself, like women, how much you pay for, or I don't know, your pee-pee size, I guess.
That you really make 40 racks a
Like,
month.
no one cares.
Nah, don't. It's 6 figs a month, obviously. You know how we
Obviously.
do after it.
I've got these Ray-Bans in it. I got these Ray-Bans. You think I don't make a lot of money?
6 figs are
6 figs.
How anyone can bear being in the presence of this man is baffling to me. Even Mr. Arslick over here must have internally gone, fucking hell, mate, will you shut up? Also, I very, very, very much doubt he made 6 figures in a month. That is 99.999% bollocks. And honestly, I doubt he even makes the pitiful, measly 40 grand a month, because rich people do not talk like this guy. Like, if you're looking for
No, they don't. So I don't know. Have you ever met someone that's like really like well off, and you talk to them and you don't get that impression at first glance until like, I have a good story. I lived in an area where it was like very mixed. It wasn't like, you know, rich people only living in one area, but there's like poor people too. The rich people, they don't talk about their money. And then I had a friend that invited me over, and they had like a McMansion house. She was so nice too, and her mom was really sweet. They didn't say anything about, like, whenever I said something that now in hindsight, I was like, hey, do you guys like, I asked them for like food, and they like ordered a bunch of food on the spot, and they had like a pseudo butler in their house, but I didn't understand that because I was a little kid. You don't get that kind of thing until someone explains it to you, and I was like, who's this? Is this your dad? And they're like, no, her dad's working. This is our friend. And I was like, oh, hi, Mr. Friend. Like, you know, I was like, what the fuck? Like, and then in hindsight, my parents told me, they were like, you went to a rich person's house? Yeah, not all rich people are jerks. It's the ones that carry themselves like normal people, but like are discreet about it, I think. No, I was like, 8 or 9. They were super nice people, like never rubbed it in anyone's face. You didn't know until you like went to their house or something.
New guru to buy a
It's
fucking
crazy.
course or whatever from. First of all, you probably shouldn't do that. But if you insist,
Exactly.
the biggest red flags are someone, one, talking about how much money they make, like non-stop talking about it, and two, showing off something like a Lamborghini. The vast majority of the time, those people are full of absolute shit. Like this guy clearly is.
Success is a lonely road, and you know why? Because most of the people that you know are in the pub every single weekend.
What's wrong with going to the pub every single weekend if you work a 16-hour shift in the coal mines in England? Why do they have to demonize that kind of thing? Like, what if you're just working a 9 to 5? It's a waste of money. I know, but you're working like your ass off, and you're probably just some dude who wants to like go drinking with his mates. Like, yes, I totally get it. It's a waste of money, but so is a lot of things like hobbies, collecting figurines. I collect figurines. I don't go to the pub.
And that's the people you're in competition with. And when you realise all that you need to stop doing is stop going out and partying and spending that time trying to better yourself. But when you realise that they're the people that you're...
No, because you're gonna... So, I know exactly what this guy's gonna say. This is like a classic grifting for like, you can be an attractive man, and you'll get a ton of bitches, and also, you're gonna be a supermodel on Instagram. No, you're not. No, you're not. That does not happen. Nobody does that. The people that make a lot of money off of that are going to have such an advantage over you because it's an oversaturated market. You're not selling yourself. You're usually scamming other people when you're doing this kind of modeling thing, just like him. He's not even like attractive either. He's not even a buff guy from what I can tell.
Against becomes easy, mate.
Right. What exactly
Like,
is
why is
wrong
he
with any
talking?
of that? If anything, I think just going to the pub at the weekend is restraint. The thing is, these wannabe guru blokes always act like the fun police. You shouldn't go out. You shouldn't have fun. You need to work and train 24/7. Fuck off. No, you don't. Who on earth told you that? I know, like, a fair...
But he doesn't do it himself. Like, I'm just saying, like, if you're going to sell a product, I would believe someone who says, hey, I'm a big buff guy, here's my product, I eat it. Like, you'd be more inclined to like buy it. Like, why is this guy trying to sell you like a fitness thing?
amount of successful
Makes
people,
no sense
pretty
to
much
me.
none of them live the lifestyle these gurus try and sell because it isn't sustainable. If you live like these people advertise you should, you're just fast tracking yourself to a life of absolute misery and meaninglessness. Additionally, it doesn't fucking work. Going out and meeting...
You also shouldn't immediately resort to, oh, I'm gonna better myself to get bitches. You're bettering your body to make yourself happy. If you don't want to put in the effort and you want to become more funny or you want to, talk to people better, you don't have to get a massive body. You really don't. Most people don't even want that kind of lifestyle. It's a lot of effort. Going out to the gym almost every day, yeah, it's a time sink for sure.
People at pubs, clubs, parties is character building, which is incredibly important in all facets of life. If you follow the advice of just work and train, you're going to end up a boring loser. And I'm sorry, but that's just true. You need a balance. And if that's not drinking and going out, all power to you. But you need something aside from work and like fitness to keep you sane. And this weird rhetoric I've seen going around the last few years of lock yourself inside and work and lift weights and you will be successful is so stupid and just incorrect. Also, this guy was in fucking prison. I don't know what for.
Wait, he was in prison?
But I can't think of a bigger waste of time than sitting in a cell for 23 hours a day. So I've no idea what he's waffling about. Oh, you shouldn't.
He's a class A scammer. What for? If I had to guess, probably like tax evasion or something.
Go to the pub at the weekend.
Yeah,
you were locked up for a period of time. On another note, right, I noticed him in like his little like clip montage here. These people fucking love David Goggins for some reason, and honestly, I don't get it. Like, yeah, he's a very impressive bloke.
Who's gonna carry the boat?
But have you actually ever heard one of his stories? Every single David Goggins story is some shit like, I ran for 100 miles, and when I finished, I shat myself and started pissing blood. Like,
That sounds like an average Tuesday. What do you mean? Like, is that supposed to be an accomplishment? I dragged my nuts on the floor for 100 miles and then I shit myself. I just sat down. Who starts a story like that?
That's awesome, man, but I don't want that to be me.
What?
And I already know there'll be some mega alpha in the comments calling me weak for that, and fine, so be it. You're not doing that shit either.
I got no GCSEs. It's got nothing. And actually, what was funny, the deputy head sat me down 6 months prior and said to me, Cam, you are going to amount to nothing in life. One of the highest people in the school has just told me I'm going to amount to nothing.
These stories all of the time are absolute bollocks. No, a teacher did not say that to you. A teacher would lose their job for saying that to you, Cam. And for some reason, this is...
It depends. I've had really mean teachers before, and I've heard stories. I wouldn't completely dismiss that. Yeah, I wouldn't dismiss that like 100%.
the most common lie other than their
some
earnings.
teachers
These
can be
blokes
real
love to
dickheads.
tell. I don't know why. I don't know why they try and like almost victimize themselves like this. Like, oh yeah, the teacher said I'd be nothing, but now I sell stuff on TikTok Shop to idiots. Alright, cool man. We're all really impressed. Very cool.
I knew you were wrong. It was weird, bro.
Yeah, and then the montage of being at a pool. Wow, what a cool guy. Damn. I want to be like him one day. What the fuck?
This is
Ew,
another thing about him.
no.
He loves making fan edits of himself and posting them on his own TikTok account. Like every other video on his account is, I make £6 dectillion per month.
Yeah.
What's the most you've personally made in a day? 8 grand. I think you're full of I think I'm full of
Okay, this podcast is
$8,000? Holy fucking shit.
absolute bollocks. I highly doubt
I
this
don't
is real
believe
because
it.
it's obvious he's just gone, oh, here, mate, can you just ask me these questions? And all of them are just 10 different variations of how much money do you make. Also, the acting is abysmal. That's a pretty big giveaway in this.
I'm making more than an only girl on TikTok, making 15-second videos.
What does that even mean, you make more than an OnlyFans girl? That's like saying I make more than...
Not all OnlyFans girls make a lot of money. He has to be more specific, man. No. You can't say that without giving an amount. What is standard? Yeah, like say I make more than most OnlyFans girls. Does he legally? I don't know. Maybe he's a thug at heart still and he scams people, which he does anyway. I don't think all TikTok shop stuff is really bad, but like a good portion is, like 99%.
A YouTuber, some make pennies, some make millions and millions. It's not like, I don't know, a chartered land surveyor where there's a pretty tight spectrum of earnings. Saying I make more than an OnlyFans girl means less than nothing because it doesn't even make sense.
The money is ridiculous.
Again, the fucking bass boost and edit.
Oh, that's so awesome, man. You're so awesome. That was a sick edit you made of yourself. But he has this
Wow.
weird obsession with
So
making more than
egotistical.
other certain professions.
I make more than a footballer, and I'm happy than a footballer.
Neither of those statements make any sense. We'll get onto the happiness one in a sec. But if you're referring to Premier League footballers, even with your, in my opinion, likely inflated earnings, which were what, like 40 grand? He said he was making 40 grand a month. Like if you're making 40 grand a month, I think you'll claim that you make more than, I don't know, like a 17-year-old prospect at Ipswich would be pretty valid. But like he's not making more than, I don't know, Kevin De Bruyne or something, is he? But it's really weird because I don't know why he even feels the need to make this video because it's just him going,
Well, again, it's all to sell a product. I bet you a lot of it is like self-help books or like audiobooks like, hey, bitch, I make 30 grand a month and I fuck your mom and here's why. Here's how and why. It's the same thing. The psychology behind fleecing like suckers is so low IQ that only low IQ people fall for it, in my opinion. I've never heard of like a smart person buying that shit, unironically, I mean. There's people who buy that stuff to make fun of it. I don't count that like it's content, but it happens in VTubing as well. There are plenty of people who try to make like self-help books for like how to start streaming, how to start being a VTuber. Plenty money.
I'm so happy and rich. I promise. I'm way more happy and rich than like a footballer. I promise.
I'm happier than a footballer because they still work for someone. I don't.
That makes absolutely no sense. But all right, mate.
I mean, some people are happy working for someone else as long as it's worth their time. If you're getting your ass busted and you're not getting the time, nor the money, nor the acknowledgement, like, I think that, yeah, it sucks, but it's ultimately not that bad. Like, if you own your own business and you hire someone and you're a good boss, it's not that bad.
Whatever makes you happy. I know personally I'd much rather be a professional footballer than some melt that sells stuff on TikTok
True.
shop.
No at all in the bank. I mean, not even a
I'd rather
penny
be a
to my
VTuber.
account. Now, if you look at me now, I'm making 40 grand a month.
Yeah, all right, mate. We get it. You can...
40,000 pounds a month. That's even more than we think, chat. 40,000 pounds a month. Wait, 40,000 pounds to USD. That's 50 grand a month. American. There's no way this clown.
You can stop mentioning it now. We do get it.
How much I made by the time I woke up was...
No one fucking cares, mate. He has literally gone on this one podcast, the one with like the A in the... I always see this podcast like come up on my view page because it's always like people like...
It's because you're British. That's why I never see this shit on my page.
him that go on this podcast. It's just exclusively idiots. I have no idea what it's called, but if you see someone on a podcast with this little A in the corner, just know you're about to listen to some app.
It's like the Whatever podcast, but for British people. That's what it is! That's what it is! It's the Whatever podcast, but for across the pond, right?
It's like bullshit. But he's literally just gone on this podcast and
Whatever.
rephrased saying how much money he makes in 100 different ways and then gone home. Surely no one is... Who is listening to this absolute crap? I haven't listened to this whole podcast because, quite frankly, I have more respect for my time than that. But surely this whole conversation just has to be an hour of this guy sucking himself off. Because that's all I've seen from the clips so far.
Making money while I sleep. You know what they call my bank account, don't you? Rack City, bitch.
Oh my god. I want to punch him so bad. Not like actually punch him, I'd probably get arrested because it's Britain, but like who says that? He reminds me of the people that say like, you know, my penis is so big, they call it the tornado because I be whipping bitches. It's like, what the fuck? Nobody says that. Nobody in like a human conversation says that shit.
I think it's just the way he speaks about things, like he's Scarface, but he makes his money selling multi-packs of Lucozade on TikTok. He is just like a boss man with a massive
I'd
ego.
love to see it.
I like extra cheddar goldfish.
Extra cheddar goldfish.
Oh,
Okay.
I also love the extra cheddar cheese.
Is that
Oh my god, it's the Costco kid!
your second pick?
Yeah.
You're gonna take him?
Yeah.
Okay, that's the second pick.
This is the problem with the whole of the world at the moment, and this generation. You are glorifying child obesity.
mean,
Don't
yeah.
you dare speak about the Rizzler like that. How...
It's the Rizzler, dude. No, I mean, yeah, they are glorifying child obesity, but like, I mean, it's kind of funny. I'm also not their parent.
dare you? How dare you disrespect him? Know your place.
This is what I mean. In this day and age now, there's not even a winner in sports because you're so scared about how the kid's gonna feel.
There is a winner in
What?
sports. It's whoever wins the sport. What you fucking
waffling
what
on
you-
about?
What are you on about?
We make like $2,000 a day, you know.
I need to make like YouTube TikToks or YouTube Shorts, but like in this vein, be like, oh my god, nobody knew who I was until I got these fat tits. Now I make $5 billion a year. And see how many people take me seriously.
Mad
Here's
that, innit,
how.
mate?
I just can't get over how dull this bloke is. This is literally all he talks about. Most of his videos start with a statement about how much money he almost definitely doesn't make. It's so boring. Just talk about something else. To be fair, there is probably literally nothing else of interest going on in his life other than the whatever money he's making on TikTok Shop, which I'm fair.
Talk about anything, like video games, like even talk about, I don't know. I'd find it more, I find sports like boring to like watch and talk about. It's like, wow, they won. That's great. I would find that unironically more interesting to talk about it with a man. anything else other than how much money you make. That's so stupid.
Fairly certain it isn't 40 grand a month. He maybe made that for 1 month and is now just riding on that. But hanging out with this bloke must be like being in a sensory deprivation chamber. It's just because do you want to know how much money I made today? I made £2,000 today. Do you want to know how much money I made last month? I made 40 grand a month. Do you want to know how much money I made a month?
Definitely not broke. I made 40 racks in the last month.
Fuck me, this podcast or whatever, it must be the most boring podcast ever recorded in history. Also, I'm sorry, that is like the worst art style in the background. The fucking, what's that, Scrooge McDuck holding a bottle.
It is Scrooge McDuck holding Ace vodka with like money. Oh my gosh, someone needs to slap this kid, honestly.
Some Ace of Spades surrounded by money. Just know when someone owns art like this, they're a fucking loser.
True.
So shit.
Also realised ever since being in prison, money only buys you a bigger box. Money alleviates worries, but I don't think it'll ever put a smile on my face like maybe what I've done for my parents.
What the fuck are you talking about? You've basically made a TikTok account to tell us how much money you make. You're showing off the cars that you definitely don't own and just saw in a car park. You even made a video saying...
Or they rent them. That's another really common tactic. The people that rent stuff and make it look like they're rich. I bet you these people do it, or this guy does.
You're happier than a footballer. And now you've just gone, I don't think money will ever put a smile on my face. What on earth are you talking about? I don't think my brain could take any more of this.
It sure as fuck helps.
Like, subscribe if you want to make 40 grand a month selling Lucozades on TikTok or whatever the fuck.
Oh shit. Chat, buy the Smuggler plushie for $50 million. It'll help and go towards the fund. The fund being my pocket. I need it. I need it! So I can brag about it on my podcast. Literally nothing of value. At all.